Sean Kingston was once on top of the world. His 2007 breakout hit, Beautiful Girls, dominated radio waves, topping charts in over 20 countries. He had the charm, the voice, and the perfect blend of hip-hop and pop to ride the late 2000s wave into stardom. But while the public knew Sean Kingston for his catchy hooks and radio-friendly image, what they didn't know was that behind the scenes, Kingston had been quietly building a reputation, not as a hitmaker, but as a serial scammer. This is the story of how Sean Kingston went from a chart-topping sensation to being raided by the FBI with multiple lawsuits, shady business deals, and a lifestyle he simply couldn't afford. Before things went downhill, Sean Kingston was a teenage success story. Born in Miami and raised in Jamaica, he bursted onto the scene with the Beautiful Girls at just 17 years old. The song was everywhere. MTV, BET, the radio, even getting banned in some countries for promoting suicide. He followed it up with Fire Burning and Eeny Meeny with Justin Bieber, further cementing his place in pop culture. He was working with some of the biggest producers in the game, and living a life most teens only dreamed of. But as with many young stars, the money came fast, and so did the spending. By the early 2010s, Sean Kingston had developed a reputation for flashy purchases: cars, jewelry, designer clothes, and luxurious homes. He even claimed to own over $1 million in watches alone. But unlike artists who invested or diversified, Kingston seemed to be spending with no financial strategy. There were whispers that the money wasn't quite matching the lifestyle, but that didn't stop him. In 2011, Kingston suffered in a near-fatal jet ski accident, and while he recovered, his career didn't. The hits dried up, and behind the scenes, Kingston's financial situation was unraveling. By the mid-2010s, Sean Kingston was no longer a chart topper, but he was making headlines for all the wrong reasons. In 2013, he was sued by a jeweler for allegedly receiving $300,000 worth of jewelry without paying. That same year, another jeweler sued him for bouncing checks totaling $47,000. Kingston reportedly claimed he was misled or forgot, but the lawsuits kept piling up. Between 2013 and 2018, Sean Kingston was sued over 7 times for unpaid bills, ranging from luxury cars to watches and even electronics. And while each lawsuit seemed like a minor incident, they were painting a much bigger picture. A picture of a man living beyond his means and increasingly relying on deception to maintain appearances. Somewhere around 2021, Kingston pivoted. No longer just trying to be a pop star, he started rebranding himself as a tech entrepreneur. He began promoting high-end TVs and home entertainment systems, claiming he was working with companies like Ver Entertainment, a name that would become central to the federal case later on. On Instagram, Kingston showed off massive flat screens, custom-built speakers, and even said he had partnerships with Samsung. But here's the thing, none of it was real. Customers who paid deposits for the tech never received the products. Installers claimed that they never got paid, and lawsuits started coming in, accusing Kingston of misrepresentation, fraud, and theft. Kingston's blueprint was simple. He'd leverage his fame to gain trust, pitch expensive custom tech setups, ask for deposits, and disappear. Multiple lawsuits allege that he used the illusion of celebrity to scam individuals and businesses out of tens of thousands. One installer said he worked 10 plus jobs under Kingston's brand and never received a dime. Another claimed Kingston faked wire transfers, sending proof of payments that never cleared. According to reports, Kingston promised one man a $150,000 system for just $50,000, saying it was a celebrity pricing. The man never saw a product. This wasn't some one-time accident. It was a pattern, and it would eventually catch up to him. In early 2024, federal authorities began actively investigating Kingston's businesses. And on May 15, 2024, the investigation became public. Dozens of agents stormed his property, seizing electronics, financial records, and luxury goods. Kingston wasn't home during the raid, but his mother was, and she was taken into custody on multiple fraud-related charges. Soon after, a federal indictment revealed that Kingston and his mother were allegedly running a long-term fraud operation involving over $1 million in stolen goods. Sean Kingston turned himself in shortly after, and suddenly, a man once known for radio hits was now facing potential prison time. As of April 2025, Sean Kingston's legal case is still ongoing. He faces multiple Fed charges, including wire fraud, conspiracy, and theft. His mother has also been indicted in connection with the scheme. Kingston's team has denied wrongdoing, saying he's being unfairly targeted and that businesses' disputes are being misrepresented. But the evidence is stacking up. Dozens of court filings, testimonies from victims, photos, videos, receipts, fake transfers, all pointing toward a careful-crafted fraud operation. And with the FBI involved, this isn't just a civil issue, it's criminal. Sean Kingston's story is one of the most bizarre rises and falls in pop culture. From teen sensation to federal defendant, his journey is proof that fame can't hide everything. In the end, Kingston might not be remembered for his music, but for the Sean Kingston incident. Because what started with a beautiful girl ended with a very ugly truth.